Hello and welcome to Critical Questions, the antidote to lockdown boredom. I've trawled the internet. Shut up. I've trawled the internet for the oh, fuck you,
That was easy for you to say, Dave.
I've trawled the internet for the best, worst, most interesting and ridiculous dumb questions I can find, and with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them. Today we have got with us Amanda. We have got Mr. BadTemperedBadger. We've got MathPig.
Oink oink.
We have got Godless Scummer.
Oi, oi.
And we've got Jenni Morgan. Oh. Hello. Did anyone do anything fun last night? Amanda?
I sleep late.
I got a fresh bottle or tube of loot. Well, no, nothing. No.
Amanda, what did you do?
Made MathPig watch another episode of Game of Thrones.
That's not what I had in mind.
No.
Not what I had in mind either.
And Shelton. That was fun.
That was fun.
That was a good interview as well.
Excellent.
You did a great job.
Do you do anything, MathPig?
I had Michael Carey on last night. I thought it was a great interview. We had a great conversation.
He did. He was great. He was a lovely bloke.
Yeah, definitely a
I hope
lot
to see lots
nicer
more of
than his
him.
picture looked.
I was waiting for him to be a fucking right-wing Republican.
Yeah.
He was lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Yeah, definitely. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We talked for hours, even after stream and stuff and all. And then another guy came on. We had another conversation. So it was good fun.
Right. We shall jump to the first question.
Oh boy. Do I get a buzzer?
No.
Okay, I got it.
I liked it. Question 554. What film/play would you like to see reimagined by the Muppets?
By the what?
By the sneeze.
By the Muppet.
Oh,
By the Muppets. Jenny.
Macbeth.
Macbeth.
I'm not supposed to say that.
You can't say it in the theater when you're performing it.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
say it otherwise. Okay.
Yes.
Macbeth.
Macbeth.
So now it's going to appear.
Jeff.
I don't know. It probably wouldn't be a Shakespeare thing, though. I'm just trying to think. Get back to you on that one in a minute. Let me think on this.
I think the Titanic by the Muppets would be hilarious.
You mean Kermit's got to die?
Yes.
You're saying
Let's
you want to
get
see
me on
Kermit
the
die?
Well,
That
it
would
would
be-
be he's a frog.
Got
And
it,
finally,
I've got it.
there would be a Miss Piggy Kermit sex scene.
No.
Like your French girls.
I've got it.
That would be the
The
Muppets
ship
do
is broken
Debbie
up.
Back Down.
But at least the back end is floating now.
I think I've got an answer actually. Warhorse.
Oh God.
Warhorse.
Oh God.
Muppet Warhorse.
Yeah,
That's why.
Muppets do Warhorse.
There we go, that's
Seraphim says Wicked. Wooly says The Exorcist. Spooky says Star Wars Pigs in Space. Nerdy says Muppet Inception. A certain MathPig in the chat says Muppet Titanic for the win.
This is supposed to be a play, like let's see if it's going for films here.
Yeah.
If we're going for a play,
No, it says what film or play. So okay.
Okay. Oh, films are a bit more of an option there.
I'm doing all the controversial pieces today.
Go on.
I'm gonna say I'd like to see Muppet Les Miserables because it might actually be like enjoyable to watch.
Could be.
I'm going to say I'd like to see Avenue Q done by the Muppets.
Okay. Films are a bit more of an option there.
Purple says Muppets versus Aliens.
Yep, that'll work. That'll work.
Manda?
Guys and dolls, but you need a Frank Sinatra and a Marlon Brando puppet lookalike.
Oh.
Insisting on that.
Oh.
As much as I love this film and the idea of ruining it, sort of with Muppets, it could be bad. I'm kind of curious to see Muppet Goodfellas.
Oh no, fuck that, no.
I've just realised that the thing we all need is Muppet Apocalypse Now.
Oh no, that would be interesting.
Yeah. Muppet Taxi Driver.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh.
Ike says, I demand a Muppet.
Godfather, where he's just the scene where he says, leave the gun, take the cannoli.
I think now you got me thinking about a fish called Wonder.
The Muppets do Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Each one of you owes me 100 Nazi scalps.
Kermit's Death Wish.
And I want my scalp.
I was kind of thinking of Kermit as the Nazi.
Oh.
Ike says, I demand a Muppet Film Fest every year.
Get out.
Sammy says, Muppets Pulp Fiction.
Ooh.
That'd be good. Ike says, Avatar by the Muppets. Although I'd be intrigued to know how the going into the body would be achieved.
So
Muppet you just use
Saw.
someone else's hands. That's no big deal.
I think that's the way to go. I think Muppet Saw.
Muppet Saw.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, Muppet Saw could be very entertaining. They
I'll
can tear
think
them
of
to
that one.
pieces.
So
Muppet Bad Taste.
If Frank
What
Oz
about-
did if Frank Oz did it Kermit instead of Jim Henson, would that be like rape?
Seraphim says The Room.
Oh, there we go. What about though? And hear me out on this. Muppet Taken.
Nerdy wins.
Taken.
Nerdy wins.
What's he saying?
Muppet Death Note.
No. Muppets do Dallas.
Spooky
dear.
says Emmanuel.
Mm.
Dave?
The Green Door.
What?
Dave,
Yes?
can I ask something?
Of course.
What is your obsession with puppets?
It's not my obsession. Almost all my Muppet/puppet questions come from other people.
Okay.
Very often nerdy.
I do think Muppet Taken would be a good idea though.
Who would get kidnapped?
I think it would have to be. I think it would have to be someone really inconsequential.
Rizzo.
But the point is, it couldn't be Piggy because Kermit
No.
would never go looking for her.
Because
Exactly.
he's little and teeny and cute.
Yeah, it'd have to be the rat.
See, I could buy more Kermit being the one taken and Piggy going after it and looking for
Yes,
him.
that's very
could buy
true.
that.
I could also buy that Kermit hired them to take him.
Yes.
Yeah.
MathPig, why are you saying it in there?
Because it's easier.
MathPig says
Because if he
Muppet
says it
Street
in there, you
Fighter,
read
it would improve it.
It definitely would.
There's no, there's no way you could make Street Fighter any worse.
No.
What's Muppet Dingo?
I'm still trying to imagine Piggy doing the I have special skills. A special set of skills.
But you just know she's going to have to work. You know, in the Muppet Taken, it's be like she's going to have to work in a at some point.
Muppets Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Deathly.
Nerdy says, "Use
Not
me like a
Deathly.
puppet," screamed Dave.
The Christmas film?
Muppet
Bruce
Christmas
Willis.
Carol?
No,
Die Hard?
the Chris. Yes, that's a Die Hard.
Die Hard. Again, but I could see Piggy more likely as Bruce Willis than Kermit.
Yes, definitely. That would be fucking hilarious.
I was going to say Muppet Zulu, but that would just be so tasteless on so many levels.
Muppet Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
Oh, frankly, Piggy, I don't give a damn.
One of the shrimp, I'm not sure. Oh, that was for the who gets kidnapped. Seraphim says, I want to marry his voice. That was Seth. Sorry to be unfaithful to Badger's voice. Oh, I see. Gonzo as the main guy in Taken with his chickens being kidnapped. Don't think you could do it. Don't think you could have Gonzo as the lead. What the
Did
hell,
you
Dave?
answer?
Yeah, I said Avenue Q.
How about
Oh,
how about if Fozzie in lead role in Joker?
Here's the thing though, with a lot of the Muppet films, the Muppets are there, but they're often not playing the lead characters. They'll play some of the lead characters will be replaced by Muppets, and some of the lead characters will be played by sort of serious actors. So I think you could have Taken, but still with Liam Neeson, but they've taken his Muppets.
But I don't think there are enough roles for other people in Taken that are named, that are main characters. I mean, you look at Christmas
Oh,
Carol.
good point.
Christmas Carol
have roles
works. What?
Right now, I'm just picturing Miss Piggy in front of a table full of Coke and her rubbing her face in it and going, "Say hello to my little friends."
Gonzo is perfect for heroes in an action film. Nerdy says Kermit as Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he'll be back. Spooky says 554 questions, at last a decent one.
okay.
It won't
I was
last. It won't
I was
last.
thinking, the Muppets, but then we have the population problems. Not enough roles. But the Muppets doing African Queen.
African Queen, no. Well, maybe.
Sure.
I wonder if they do a war film.
Well, we've already got them doing Apocalypse Now.
Maybe we do Lawrence of Arabia.
Full Metal Muppets.
Oh.
Tank Girl.
Oh, Muppet Tank Girl.
Oh, that.
Gunga Din.
Mike says, my mind just went Muppet Blow. That's what I was thinking. I think Ike's right earlier on. We need a yearly Muppet Film Festival. I mean, now that he's died, everyone should be able to remake with them.
Who died?
Whoever did, I've forgotten.
Jim Henson.
That's the word, Jim Henson.
Oh, well, that was what? 20,
Ages
30
ago.
years ago.
Yeah. Jenny, can you turn yourself up at all?
I know he died.
No, people are saying you're too quiet.
Oh. How about now? Is that any better?
It's a lot better.
Okay.
But you look a bit like you're taking the piss.
Well,
or playing a
kinda am,
harmonica.
I'll try to speak up, but
Where have we got? Well, I've missed here. Nerdy says
I've
Muppet
ended.
Priscilla Queen of the Desert with Miss Piggy doing the ping pong ball scene.
Oh dear.
Oh.
We're thinking of all these violent and nasty movies. What if we had the Muppets do something happy?
Like Toy Story.
Yeah, Toy Story would be interesting. They'd fit right in. I mean, the roles would be perfect. Costumes would be easy. And they could do the repeat of the TV series Anne of Green Gables.
Betting no one in here knows Kelly's Heroes. I've absolutely no idea
yeah.
what that is.
Yeah, I've
I've heard of it.
What is it?
that John Wayne movie.
It's another World War
War
II
thing.
fictitious
Yeah.
bullshit macho penis waving.
Who's the secondary? Who would you say is the second guy? Who could play? I've forgotten the actor's name in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Which one? Redford or Newman?
Well, the other one that Kermit doesn't play.
Well, so you want Kermit as Butch Cassidy then? So he'd be
Yeah.
taking Paul Newman's place.
Right. So who could play that? The Muppets have a good secondary male lead.
Bunsen.
Yeah, they got the drummer.
They got the drum. Oh, Animal.
Yeah. Who's the enormous one who did the cooking with Gordon Ramsay?
The chef, the Swedish chef.
Not the Swedish chef. The guy with the big mouth, the big eyes, and the big nose.
Big Bird.
Not Big Bird.
No, there used to be a character that was like an oversized head, towered above all the other Muppets.
Let me go to the Muppet Wiki and check.
There's a Muppet Wiki.
Yes, there's a
Of course,
Muppet
there's a fucking
Wiki.
Muppet Wiki.
Oh,
Oh,
of course
and
there's
it's
a
the
Muppet
first-
Wiki.
First
Internet.
picture on the thing.
I think we got.
Tweetums.
Tweetums.
Tweetums. Hang on. Tweetums. This guy.
Uh-huh. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Wait there, we've got here. Muppet Little Women, says Ike. Spooky says, replace the panel with other Muppets. What do you mean, other Muppets? What's wrong with the Muppets we've got?
Bigger.
Wait there, Muppet Passion of the Christ.
I like that one. Yeah.
Muppet Tombstone, or Muppet Young Guns. Muppet versus Sesame Street Thunderdome. Half of Sesame Street is the Muppets.
Shut up.
Muppet
Okay.
Critical Questions. Yes, I
It could
agree.
Could be Muppet. Well, yeah, I think there's an argument that we are a bunch of Muppets to be made, but yeah.
There's
I'd
now a
like to
fight
see
as
the
to who the
Muppets.
secondary lead would be between Beaker and
I-
Animal.
The Muppets in
Beaker.
Planet of the Apes.
I could see Planet of the Apes.
The trouble is here we're all inclined towards Muppet snuff movies, I think.
Adventure.
Muppet 8mm.
What?
Muppet 8mm.
2 pigs, 1 cup?
2
I'm going
piggies.
to bed.
Muppet Conan. Conan.
Oh,
I can't breathe.
and I haven't
Yeah,
had any
Muppet
coffee
Conan.
at all yet.
Who's the Conan, though?
My brain can't take this. Oh,
Who would be Conan? I suppose it'd be Rizzo.
I can't remember which one Rizzo is.
It's the rat.
Rat.
Oh. I
That's
feel they
so
were ripped
Rizzo?
off the Men in Black.
Oh,
Red
the
Red
Bull,
guys.
Midnight
There
Cowboy.
you go, Muppets in Black. That's one.
Muppets in Black.
Well, there's one right there. Is they should do Midnight Cowboy.
What? Sammy says, did you Google Meet the Feebles yet, Dave? What are the Feebles?
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to turn out well.
What? What are the Feebles?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
You can't have this. When you say nothing, that makes my brain go, I have to know what this is.
No idea what you're talking about.
And why has Amanda now got a huge grin on her face?
Sending her dick pics. It's okay. Shh. Moving on.
Is that,
Moving on.
Yes, it's a live action Kermit doll.
Ignore me.
She's laughing at Dave.
Anyway.
Ike says Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, which I have never heard of. Piggy as Chibilis.
Chablis.
That doesn't help me either.
I've
What's
got
the
it.
movie?
I've got it.
What?
Perfect answer.
Go on.
And they call Americans provincial.
Go on, Badger.
I've got 2 perfect answers for you.
Go on.
One is Muppet Dodgeball. And 2 is a Muppet Cornetto trilogy.
Is there a Cornetto film?
The Cornetto trilogy, Dave.
What's the Cornetto trilogy?
It's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and At World's End.
I've never heard them described like that.
It's the Cornetto trilogy.
Right. That's
It makes
kind
sense.
of what they're commonly referred to of.
But I don't pay any attention to, well, anything.
And then there's the unofficial.
Ask me about the
edition of
news. I pay
Paul.
attention to the news. Say again?
I said there's the unofficial edition of Paul, but there's lacking in cornettos.
It's lacking in cornettos. That's because they're in the
Yeah,
States and the States don't have them.
We don't consider that canon.
Why has no one said any of the Star Wars?
It was said at the beginning, but it was just like
But it
Why do you
was
have to
done
bring religion
generally.
into this?
We've already got Yoda.
I'm not going to say any of the existing Star Wars. However, if they do an episode 10,
Don't Disney own the
I'm
Muppets
not-
now?
I have no idea.
If Disney own the Muppets, I'm going to slap someone.
Star Wars Episode 10, Pigs in Space.
Did Disney own the Muppets? Our expert adjudicator will have an answer shortly.
If Disney owns the Muppets, I'm going to bed. Good night. So if Disney owns the Muppets, I'm going to slap someone.
You do.
Badger, I don't think I'm going to make your day very likeable here.
Badger,
Yes.
just mute for a second.
It appears.
No. Don't mute yourself. Mute us. For like 10 seconds.
Oh, I see.
Disney own the Muppets.
The Muppets are now owned by the Walt Disney Company. The term Muppet is trademarked and owned by the Walt Disney Company.
They have for a while.
Yeah.
I thought they had.
Badger, looks like an episode 10 is coming.
I'm going to slap someone.
Seraphim says Muppet Hot Shots. IQ says a Clockwork Muppet. I'd like that.
Yeah, that would work.
Spooky says One Flew Over the Muppet's Nest. Right, I think we should move on. I think we've named basically
I think
every
this is-
film.
I think this is the longest we've ever spent on a question, isn't it?
Disturbingly not.
First
No,
question.
it's not.
No, not even the first question.
I think
We've
it's
done
good
over
enough for the
35
chat,
minutes
don't
on the
you?
first question, and we've done nearly 25 minutes on this. Maybe still got more. I says the birdcage.
Oh, what about just birds?
The birds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Not as funny as you expected it to be, though.
No. I'm sitting there
Sure.
thinking about the scenes, and the problem is it's a bit comical already. In terms of...
Kermit does Raging Bull.
I think the best Muppet films are ones where they take a serious premise and Muppet it.
yes. This is the problem.
I'd like to see him do Vertigo.
See, now you've got me thinking about Psycho.
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking The Shining. Just imagining.
Shining could
I
work.
don't know who would play him though.
It'd have to be Animal. But you'd have to be smart and reasonable at the start. Or it could be someone that turned into animal.
Animal should be play the mother.
I think it should be Fozzie. Because Fozzie would do good
Fozzie's
crazy.
Oh, yes.
Ike says Mad Max. IQ says Big Trouble in Little Muppet. Oh, right. Let's go for a nice, easy question next.
Okay.
Question 555. Should a college-level education be free?
Yes.
Why?
Moving on.
Moving
What?
on. Next question.
You didn't hear the end of the question. Why not?
Does that mean I have to go?
No.
Oh, good. My brain is just so fragile.
Make why's pretty simple. Make it more available to everyone or whatever, and let's just say people who are like the sons of rich people, whatever, have a bit of a fair, don't get all the fair shakes on it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't phrase that very well. Fucking man.
You think it would help with the social class divide?
Yeah. I think so.
If the reason that we pay taxes for public education is to better the next generation, because these people will be taking care of us as we age later, it's a logical extension that you want to do that better each time. So maybe we should be making college as a normal part of your free education as a young person.
Ike says no. Purple says yes. Sammy says yes because I said. Seraphim says yes. People spend way too much putting what they do earn towards student debt. IQ says
it all.
Yes because anti-vaxxers.
There you go. Look, we've got anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, and all sorts of other stuff about now. If that's not a good advert for like free college education, I don't know what the fuck is.
That's I think more of an advertisement for euthanasia.
Oh, that's controversial. Purple says a more educated populace means a better tax base for the next generation, but it also means more informed voters.
I also think that yes, but it shouldn't be shouldn't be mandatory to go to college, and there should be for people who an academic path does not suit. There should be help to get into some kind of vocational program.
Yes, completely agree.
Every capitalist system requires an underclass.
Probably.
I think
does.
calling it an underclass is the issue, not it existing. There need to be jobs for people who are not all academically smart, and those people need to be respected as people.
Oh, okay, indeed. The vernacular was touching.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to say that that was your meaning. I was just trying to say I think that
keep talking.
I think it's important that those things are equally respected as other things, especially things like care work.
I would agree, and in fact, I would tend to say that a lot of them should be respected more. How many of the people at the minimum wage are we right now considering the essential workers, or out there risking their lives to catch this COVID thing, so that we can at least maintain an almost basic existence?
Sorry about that.
Doing a hell of a lot better than $7 an hour in America.
I find it odd that I don't know where the conversation went, but I find it. I was going to say before I ran off that I find it very odd that what we class as low-skilled labour is also a lot of the labour that is undesirable that should probably be valued much higher.
Yes.
Yeah, we have migrant workers because white people won't do those jobs, not because they can.
Right. Where do we get to? We got answer. Manda.
Yes. Education is absolutely imperative, and it's fucked in this country because we have such, in my country at least, because we have such a class system that, you know, and the way our colleges are set up, it's so expensive that only the people in the richest families can afford the best colleges and get the best jobs. So it's stupid, and I absolutely agree that it should be free for everybody.
Badger?
What?
Oh, you answered already, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had a very eloquent answer.
Oh, thanks.
Say again?
Oh, thanks.
Thanks. Purple says democracy only functions with a well-educated electorate. No, democracy functions regardless. It can be better. I mean, don't forget, it's still it'd be democratic if it was random. Mike says, I prefer we overhaul our education system to stop prepping people for factory jobs that no longer exist. Completely agree. I also want advanced education to be more reasonably priced in tandem. Here's the problem I've got at the moment within the current system that we've got. Get my overall opinions, right? We should be subsidising education. Assuming we're going to keep, assuming you want to keep paid for college level education, we should be subsidising education in things that we think society needs. At the very least. Because there is no better way to try and guide a country that I can think of. Short of armies on the street with guns pointed at people, getting them to do things.
Could you give a couple of examples?
Well, for example, you want more nurses. Government subsidises the cost of half of every nurse's course. So the cost of every nursing course is 50%.
Well, since it's free and it's put on by the government, could they then also take the position of, okay, we're going to give you free education, but you 50 have to go into nursing, and you 50 have to go into teaching, and you 50 have to go into.
Well, no, because you're not dictating what they have to do. You don't want to. I don't think you want to go down the route of dictating what people have to do. You're encouraging. You're not. You're giving an incentive. I think once you start telling people they have to do things, you end up very quickly with. If you look at what the right, what the Conservatives, what the small government, what they have against nationalised industries, you get, once you have complete guaranteed job, once you have, you find that some people stop giving a damn. So you turn around and say these 50 people have to do this. Half of them might go off and do absolutely brilliant. Half of them won't give a shit, or a quarter of them won't give a shit, and a quarter of them will do a fucking terrible job. Whereas you give people a choice, even if it, oddly enough, was it? I'm trying to think who it was, and I can't remember, and I don't want to misquote. But it was one of the peeps around the time of Marx turned around and said, the illusion of choice might be all that's important to people. How well people will live their lives. So as long as they think they are making a choice to live a certain way, they think they have control of their life, that might be enough.
Exactly what we have right now.
Apart from the fact that most people don't think they do, which is the disturbing thing.
But they're very comfortable with it. They think that because they have a couple of flat screen TVs, a couple of cars, maybe a above ground swimming pool in the backyard, that they live in some suburb away from the ghetto, that they have everything that answers life's demands and questions, when in reality they're just a slave who has nicer quarters.
I think there is an awful lot that comes from from telling people what they are capable of or what is possible. I remember reading a lot about what the upper class in the UK are taught in comparison to what the rest of us are taught. And we are taught that we have to live in a society, that we have to abide by these rules of this society. And then you look at what the upper classes are taught, and they are taught that they can do literally anything, that they can change the world. And that attitude carries them on. So that when you are presented with something in your adult life, whether or not you address it from a perspective of outward looking as to how we can achieve this, or whether you look at it inwardly within this box you've been placed in, is very different depending on how you've been brought up. And it's my concern when you turn around and say, should college level education be free? What we did in this country, we made college level education free, and then as it expanded, it lowered the standards.
Lowered what standards?
It lowered the standards of the teaching. Now, I think that will go away. I think with electronic, I don't know how you describe it, with digital tools, I think in 20 or 30 years' time, I think teaching will be a lot better. Because I think you will be able to have lectures from the best teachers in the world, no matter where you are. I think you will be able to interact in a way that we just can't do now. I don't know. I'm monologuing too much, so I'm going to catch up on the chat. Purple says, capitalism requires a slave class, just the US current does most of that in countries where consumers don't see it. I'd agree with. Nerdy says, I think I was only 20k in debt after uni. Why was Nerdy in debt after uni?
Because uni isn't free.
Yeah, he's older than me.
Free.
He's older than me. Uni was free to me.
Ooh.
Wasn't to me.
I got a grant and and there were no fees. I mean, that's not to say it was totally free and my parents had to contribute a bit, but it wasn't. I think I might have ended up with, 4,000 quid worth of rent debt after 4 years. IQ, not free, tax only, it will help fund it. Imagine a poorly funded education system. No imagine necessary, never mind. Right, this is the thing, the big point here is Sam's. College education results in more GDP and actually makes money for society. That's the key thing. Even if you have people...
I'm sorry, go ahead, finish.
Oh no, even if you have people doing absolutely shit cause, you're just paying people to go to university and not learn anything. The majority are, and overall, that adds the GDP greater than it costs. I mean, this is the thing. I would say the economic case for free college education is there on its own before you get into everything else.
Why couldn't we go to a hybrid system where college is like it is now, except for those careers that the government decides are mission critical at any given time and need
because
to be reinforced?
You don't know where because there are industries that add to the GDP that are not mission critical.
But still necessary. We're talking about society, though. We're not talking about just
Then how do you decide what is
and
important?
GDP.
Is a filmmaking degree important?
No.
But it adds more to society than, for example, an economics degree, which you might consider important. This is why making those decisions is important.
I don't.
But my point being, making that decision is hard. Because it is completely subjective as to what is important. Unless we're at war and we need some people to know how to make planes, or we're in a crisis now where we need nurses, and we have a very specific goal, they are the only times.
Yeah, the problem.
Go on.
The problem there is if you educate a load of people to make planes, they'll just about be ready to make them by the time the war's over.
Yes. This is the problem. You need them people educated already.
Yeah, it's the same with at the moment. You can educate a load of people to be nurses, and hopefully by the time they're all ready, there'll be a nice vaccine for the COVID, and we can all go back to normal.
And I find it interesting that over the last 20 years we've had this massive push towards teaching coding and computing. And I talked to a lot of the coders today, and they don't have a fucking clue how the computer works.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a clue what they're writing has an impact on the hardware, and how they can improve. And the software you run on your computer now runs as slow as it did, as slow as the software did 20 years ago.
All right, I'll tell you a reason for that from a slightly more recent IT graduate. They're only taught high-level coding.
Yes.
They're only taught the high levels. Yeah,
Yeah, but you don't need you don't need to know low-level coding.
They're only
You do
taught
need
Java
to understand.
and
You do need to understand how the computer actually what it does with what it's got.
Yeah, but you're not actually taught that.
No,
there's
that's my point.
a theory unit in that the lecturers don't give a shit about because it's not actually.
No, entirely.
It doesn't show any results, and then you don't actually learn it.
Yes.
I have got to break away and get some coffee.
No problem.
Give me a minute or two.
That's okay.
Okay, thanks.
Also, Dave, read my comment in the chat.
Then we'll catch up on the comments. Not sure we're coming on the question scrolling. I'm miles behind. We did some more innovation, but Sam, more innovation, more business, more international exports. I completely agree. Apathetic empath. There is such a shortage of veterinarians willing to take care of food animals that you can get your entire education paid for in exchange for 2 years in the industry. That doesn't surprise me. Badger says Dave is bouncing on his soap ball. Purple says, what if you have a child, unshakable confidence in his abilities, and he didn't have any? Britus. Nerdy says, you didn't take out as many student loans as you could. I did take out as many student loans as I could, but I think it was only about £1,000 a year. Hence 4 years, £4,000. IQ is now trying to change the question. He's not having any of it. It is, are there any social benefits to being a cheese Nazi?
No, and you're objectively wrong.
Yeah.
Purple says, I was about 8k in debt just to go to a tech school in the 1980s.
It's all because you picked the cheese knees, Dave.
Sam says, Australia kind of has a hybrid system because of how we pay our uni based on income over our career. Actually, I think, I mean, basically you're talking equivalent of a graduate tax, I assume? Nerdy says, how can you code without understanding of how the hardware works? That's just backwards. I completely agree. And the problem is, it's not even that. Let me just wash my soap ball. It's not that to do some coding, you don't need to know what's going on. But you do need to know that that's going to have an impact on performance. That the way you are coding is not the best way you could be doing it.
Well, the high level coding is a lot of the low level code is already written for you, and the problem is that all of the little glitches in the thing keep adding unnecessary code in.
Yes.
So then you need to go back. You need to go through your program once you've written it in high level code. You need to go through it in a lower level view and fix all those glitches, and that takes fucking ages. No one wants to do it.
But yeah, you're right and you're wrong. You have to write things differently within the high level language, and they.
I should point out also, I can't fucking do it. I can't even program in a high level language anymore.
The point is, you have to do things in a high level language you have to take into account that there are ways of doing things that use memory at a cost of CPU and vice versa. And every way that you can do something easy usually means that there is a massive overhead to it, and it adds up. On every project I've worked on over 20-something years in the industry, there is always a compromise, and if you don't know that you're making that decision, if you don't know that you're making a decision where the compromise is being made, then you risk that you're just adding overhead to everything. Right, back to you. Purple says, I had faith in the US system until we elected Trump. Did you? Sam, I don't pay any uni fees unless I earn more than around 45k per year, and then start paying a sliding scale from 3.5% of my income as I earn more. I'd be intrigued if Sam would want to do away with that so you don't pay anything, because I think that's probably the best way, disturbingly. Sammy says, I lost faith in the USA with Bush. Trump fucked everything up. At least Trump is preparing for Star Wars. The movie? Or real Star Wars?
Real Star Wars, I think.
Oh yeah, we've had Space Force since the 1960s. It's called NASA. Right. I've disturbed, actually, at how much the American Air Force does in space that's not talked about.
Ooh.
I mean, your reconnaissance office. Your reconnaissance office. I can't remember what it's called. Something reconnaissance office, right? When NASA spent a fortune building Hubble, and then they turn around several years later and go, yeah, we've got a couple of these just lying around. You want them?
Something I discovered about NASA and other government agencies in the US is apparently they do a lot of work that different agencies, different departments of the agencies in different parts of the country will do the same work over again because they don't know the other department is doing it because they're both vying for more funding.
Yes.
So they don't tell each other what they're doing.
Oh, and the whole NASA funding in its own right is an absolute joke, just because it's where they put things is based upon getting votes at particular times. So NASA is all over the place. If only we had a NASA expert here that could explain it all.
Yeah, I know. We had someone like that, wouldn't it?
It would.
No, I mean, there's so much that we were involved in, and it's very spread thin because it's not just, the shuttle program. There's all different. I worked the education program, plus we had different research areas and stuff like that people don't know about. When they hear NASA, they just think the shuttle program and they think Kennedy or Houston. But yeah, but you're right. It depends on who's in charge. Technically, the head of NASA is supposed to be the vice president, which never works out well for us, honestly. Especially now, considering who the vice president is. And
he's one step away from a flat earther and believing that space doesn't exist.
Yeah, pretty much. So, there's too much politics involved with NASA that it ends up fucking everything up, and the actual scientists that have, any real say don't have enough control over it and where the funding goes. So it's not really fair.
I think of, when I think of NASA, I always think of the really high quality CGI that you guys do. Some of this shit looks real. It's so impressive.
I'm just looking at man, just blowing the smoke out, going, "Yep, I hit you now, Jenny. You're not my friend no more."
Right, next question. I've never seen someone jump through StreamYards and choke someone. Question 556. Are you a descendant of someone who has a Wikipedia entry?
Not that I know of.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe.
Everybody
I can
is.
check.
Yes, okay, I was going to come back to that point.
Yeah, well.
Are you a close enough descendant that you know?
Let me see.
That I know, that I've known personally.
No. That you can, if you go and look up Genghis Khan, you are almost certainly a descendant of Genghis Khan.
Right.
Right. So, and they have a Wikipedia entry. So, but my point was of someone in the past that is that is close enough that it's not a mathematical probability that you're related.
Yes,
but
I
you're
do.
Who?
Charles de Langlade.
Who's that?
Charles Michel de Langlade. Well, according to the wiki, was a Great Lakes fur trader and war chief who was important to the French in protecting the territory. His mother was Ottawa, and his father a French-Canadian fur trader. Fluent in Ottawa and French, Langlade led the First Nations forces in warfare in the region, and various times allied with the French, British, and Americans. And he's also reputed to be considered the person who founded the first organized government in the state of Wisconsin. There's a county named after him, and if you go into the Wisconsin State Historical Records, you can actually find my mom and my grandpa named as descendants of his.
Very cool.
So
to be fair, it's not. I don't really personally consider your ancestry that important. As in, as a
neither
thing.
do I.
Seraphim says Jesse and Frank James.
Okay.
Oh,
MathPig.
No, but the close, but not a direct descendant. The last man hanged in Ireland was Michael somebody, and the person he killed was actually very good friends of my granny, and she was there the actual night that he kidnapped her and went away and did that.
He kidnapped her.
No, he kidnapped and killed my granny's very good friends. They were at the same disco that night, and she was there the night that the girl died.
That could have been her.
It could have been her, and I couldn't be here.
Amanda?
Well, I'm a Habsburg, but I don't know anybody. Yeah, obviously, it's this descendant thing. But Angel is he's the great grandson, not from my side, of a famous movie star who was also close friends with Wyatt Earp. So.
Very cool. Badger.
No.
No as in no, or no as in not a chance in hell, it's too close and personal?
No, as in not to my knowledge. And also, if yes, I would say yes.
Fair enough.
have any of you checked to see if you are in Wikipedia?
No, why would we be in Wikipedia? Are you in Wikipedia?
Anybody
Could be. It could,
Are you in
it could be
Wikipedia?
arranged.
I've never checked. I don't know.
No,
Sorry,
But
his name wasn't Michael, it was Robert. Robert McAdry.
Yeah,
How
I
do
was
you
actually,
forget that his name is Robert?
One of the
Robert Andrew McGladdery.
Yeah.
Must have been Googling that at the same time, MathPig.
That funny story. That orange hall that they're talking about. I've went there and actually had drinks there and stuff and all. Like, it's called Tinker Hill. We called it Tinker Hill.
Orange hole? I'm thinking of something else. When you say that. Look, I have the world's smallest violin. See that?
You have the world's smallest. Oh, I've got a smaller one than that.
I went to a hill once.
You went to a hill once.
Yes.
Just a hill.
Yep.
Would you care to give us its name?
Nope.
Bunker.
Did you dig tunnels under it and make it collapse?
No, I just went there, walked up it, walked down it again. But no.
Did you walk up? It was a hill, and you walked down. It was a mountain.
It felt like a mountain on the way up.
Okay. Was Hugh Grant there?
Unfortunately, not.
He would have been there, but he realised Badger was coming. He realised he wouldn't be the poshest person there anymore. So
He is the poshest badger I have ever met.
You talk to many badgers, Dave.
Yes, all the time, every day.
Of course.
They're all the same one, but you know. Sam says there's a street in one of the state capitals named after them, but I don't share my family name. That's fair enough. Seraphim, there are no Freemasons. There you go. I think I missed something from Sam earlier on.
there's a road in the small town I live in, that's named after an ancestor of mine, but no one important enough to get on the into Wikipedia. So
I might be related to someone, but I've got a similar problem to Sam. If I say who it is, it will give away my surname. And I think the connection is tenuous.
yeah, well, if you buy into rubbish like Ancestry.uk, it's amazing how many people were descended from Alfred the Great.
I find it funny how many people that are called Smith think they're related to anyone in the past that's called Smith.
Yeah.
How does a name like Smith become so ubiquitous?
Because everyone in the town had a Smith, and you have multiple types of Smiths. So you'd have each village would have 2 or 3 Smiths.
Oh, so
You'd have a
blacksmith,
yeah,
a blacksmith,
yeah,
a chimney smith.
yeah.
I believe it's the same with Taylor and Baker.
Yep.
Condom smith.
But you would only tend to have one of those, so that's why they're not as common.
Space shuttle smith. That's what Amanda is.
My surname is one of those. Is one of those very common ones. Every village had one.
An idiot.
You're
An idiot.
Mohammed?
That's it. What? Say again.
So you're Dave Diet.
Dave Diet. Yes. No, I think we should go on. Right. Next question. Question 557. If you made a chocolate bar, what would it be called?
Shit. Yeah, it probably would be called shit actually, because I'm not very good at making stuff. That's food.
Manda.
I have no fucking clue.
Well, that would be a weird name.
That's a very weird name. An armadillo bar.
Chocolate brick.
Chocolate brick. Would it just be chocolate?
It would just be solid chocolate.
Solid chocolate. A chocolate brick would be horrible.
Chocolate's not great as it is.
No, chocolate's absolutely lovely.
It's better than cheese. It's not as. No, cheese is better.
No, chocolate's better. Right. But the point is not. The point is that once you get chocolate that's so thick, you end up basically just having to gnaw at it with your teeth.
You asked for a name of a chocolate bar, not a chocolate bar that would sell.
What's the point of making a chocolate bar if it won't sell?
You didn't say that in the question.
That's right.
It's implied.
No, you just asked if
not.
you could make a chocolate bar, what would it be called?
We might need a tax loss.
Purple says creamy goo. Doc says chock fearsome.
That's very good.
How about diarrhea runs in the family?
Seraphim says I would do a play on my real name, but that would require marshmallows. Sam says 6 inches of Sam. Come on, Jeff.
Chocolate salty balls.
Chocolate salty balls. I don't believe you've got chocolate salty balls.
And you salt the caramel, not the chocolate.
Not always. I had some. I went to Morrison's once, and they were selling salted chocolate donuts. They were fucking terrible. They tasted like somebody had just scooped some seawater into a donut. I went there in the morning, and they were selling them for £1 for each pack. I went there in the evening, and they were selling them for 5p for each pack.
Okay, a pound is basically your equivalent of our dollar as far as a unit goes.
It's about $1.50, I think, at the moment.
It fucking isn't.
It's about $3. It's about $3.
Linguistically, not financially.
It's about $1.10 now.
A pound is about $15
at one time, you know.
Yeah.
I remember when it was like $5.70.
Pound is about $500.
Keep going.
No,
I'll give you a pound.
Linguistically, a pound is $1, not
Yes.
financially. Okay.
Yes.
So what's
Financially, a pound is about $2 million.
Shut up! Go on.
So what is 5p relative to
5p?
a pound?
That would be what you call a... Oh, I forgot.
A nickel.
A nickel.
There's 100 P's
Ooh.
in a pound.
Okay. I get it.
Seraphim
Wow. People didn't like
says a
those.
fuck it bar.
Yeah, they were fucking shit. That's the point I'm making here. They should not put salt in those donuts.
Purple says it would be a thin coat of chocolate around a not quite liquid caramel. Seraphim says a marshmallow would be hers. Sammy says put a little Sammy in your gob. We're talking chocolate bars. Chocolate bars, Sammy. To which Seraphim says everyone needs a little Sammy in their mouth.
Manda, if you shaped your chocolate bar in a certain way, you could call it a sergeant sucker or something.
Oh, sergeant sucker. I like that. Pound is approaching a yen. Lindt is my favourite chocolate, especially the milk. Why you're fucking here as well?
You never shut up, Dave.
That's my fault.
Get off your soap ball.
Sam, yeah, sea salt isn't my favourite in addition to chocolate. It seems a very odd thing to add to chocolate. Bad tempered fucking badger!
Yes.
I would make it. Why don't you just all join the chat and I'll sit and read everything? I would make a chocolate teapot. What would you call it?
The chocolate teapot.
That's a very imaginative name.
Short and stout.
Okay,
Seraphim, I
call
want
it
chocolate
safe.
now. There you go. You have been mooned.
Was that too American? Short and stout?
No?
I'm a little
Yeah,
teapot, short
I
and
would-
stout.
Oh shit. I would make a chocolate teapot and name it the safety hazard.
Lint is what you peel off your dryer filter. I completely agree. It tastes like it too. It's almost out of chat. Right, next question.
Moving on.
Moving on. Question 558. Do you currently have a crush on someone who is unaware?
Yes.
I think you've told Sammy all about your crush, Dave, so probably no for yourself now.
I don't have a crush on anyone.
Yes.
Yep. MathPig.
No.
You couldn't answer that any other way.
I genuinely don't. No, genuinely don't. I tell her all the time how beautiful she is. You know?
We believe you.
Yes, so you should.
To be fair, I don't think Jeff Goldblum is aware I exist.
He is
Seraphim
now.
says. Purple says definitely, but not saying. Seraphim says yes. Crushes suck. Manda.
No. I have not. Thank you.
That's a lie,
Yes.
Dave. You know that's a lie. I sent you the Australian science guy that has that channel. She wants me to get on an interview. Yeah, we wonder why she wants to get him on.
I thought you could for your channel. Fuck off.
Nothing to do with his perfectly square chin, is it? No.
No,
Oh my god.
no ulterior motives there whatsoever, Amanda.
Hey, you should totally get this guy on your channel. Why? He does science. I look up his channel.
You know, I will never help you again. How about that? Fuck off.
Jeff.
No, not currently.
Jen just came in the chat, and Ilya Moon is also. Hi, Ilya. Hi, Jen.
I've lost the chat. Where is it?
You've lost the chat.
Yeah.
Pigrant Samp says Felicia Day. I do like Felicia Day. Jenna Fisher, no idea who she is. Motivation, no idea who she is.
Jenna Fisher was that adorable woman on Office, American version of Office.
I've never watched that. Hannah Zoa, no idea who that is. Hannah Zoa. Hannah, what? Someone else read those names.
Felicity Day, Jenna Fisher, Motivation, Kana Hannah Zana Mana Mana, Andrea Lindman.
You're worse than me.
But he has the confidence.
I know.
I'm not fucking blonde, Sammy.
I know who Felicia Day is. That's it. Sammy says I have a secret crush on Scummer. It's the blonde hair. It's also not secret if you tell him.
Yeah.
Momma Atheist has a secret crush on Kit Harington. Bad-Tempered
That's
Badger
also
has a
secret.
secret crush on Gina Corona.
Toronto.
I thought
Who's she?
So you
I
never
thought
said
you had
had
like
to-
a
we
I
had
thought
to-
you had a crush on like Seraphim and Ilya the other day, sir.
She's former mixed martial arts fighter who currently plays a character on The Mandalorian.
Aha. No one watches that, so we wouldn't know it.
So you admitting there's something very good about Disney Star Wars then?
Oh,
Because the
one
thing is-
show. One
You
show.
admitting?
I will admit there's quite a few things that are quite nice about it. Like all the special effects are very well done in a lot of them. However, every time I mention that, it's important to put the big caveat on there that the rest of it is fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also non-canon because Disney is non-canon and Disney can fuck off.
It's really, strange. I didn't know Disney was non-canon. It's not like I hear it 4 times a day.
Any ideas?
Hey, MathPig. Disney's non-canon. Dave,
Yeah.
sort that out. I'm going to slap your face.
I've just seen that.
I will slap your face so hard it fucking lands on Coruscant.
Right, where are we up to? I can't breathe, I'm too hot. What is it today?
Well, I don't know if you're too hot.
Jen says, no at the moment, but I have in the past. And everyone wants Dave. They really do not. Motivation is a cosplayer. The other one that I can't say is a voice actor in anime. The other one is a voice actress film, a cartoon I watched when I was a kid.
So you didn't say that we were going to have to reveal who this was?
No, you didn't have to reveal who it was. I mean, you're welcome to. Everyone in the chat seems to. Well, they're revealing it when it's somebody that's famous that no one that is completely unrequited. And no one has named, apart from Sammy naming Jeff. No one has named anyone we know.
Which I suspect if he actually saw my hair up close, he would realise it's not as blonde as he thinks, and he'd be put off.
Ilya says, I have a crush on Simone Simmons and Chris Helmsworth. Then, of course, Punchy.
The problem I have is I don't generally get crushes in that sense because the connection is an emotional thing for me. It's not so much physical thing. I like people physically, but that doesn't make me want to approach them in that way. You know, I just kind of go, oh, that person looks nice.
So Jen says, oh, come on, BadTemperedBadger. You have a secret crush on Ray. We know it's in Erdy's fiction.
Erdy? I will come round to your house and I will paint your door bright pink.
Well, okay, I want to know how this chat turned into which celebrities do we want to shag?
Because you asked a question about crushes, Dave.
Yes.
Sigourney Weaver, and Jason Momoa.
Name one person that wouldn't do Jason.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Jeff,
what was the guy? Henry Cavill. He's not on the list of people who wouldn't do it.
I've lost her. Donna says, Cara Delevingne. I have no idea how to say
Oh,
that.
the eyebrow lady.
What?
The eyebrow lady.
Who's that?
The one
Brooke
you
Shields?
named just then.
And Ruby Rose. Seraphim says Ruby Rose is my celebrity crush. Sam says, don't break my fantasy, Dave.
A friend of mine is really into Ruby Rose.
Sammy says, nothing wrong with the silver fox, Jeff. Ignorant Sam says,
that's
fuck
better,
emotion,
see?
give me cute redheads.
I have a cute redhead.
You have a cute redhead? You do? How do you know?
You have a cute red beard. No fucking red hair in my head.
You have no idea. He could have
Beard's
these...
on,
No fucking hair in my head. Who are you talking about?
beard's on your head, isn't
You
it?
know what I mean, you asshole.
You call it a beard?
Ilya says, I have crushes on everyone in this panel too, plus Jen's little corner.
Aww.
I think
Oh,
Ilya wins
Ilya,
that
you-
question. Right, we shall go to the next question, and before we do, we
She's
shall say
such an
hello to
S-word.
Lucy before she kills me. Right, next question. Question 559. Can anyone truly claim to own anything?
Yes.
Oh, oh.
That's how you define the word.
You expect me to quote Proudhon or something?
I don't know what I'm expecting.
Yeah. The way things are currently, yeah, I would say so.
You would say so.
But if you expect me to do an all property is theft thing kind of rant, are you going to be very disappointed? I'm afraid.
I wasn't expecting an all property is theft.
I am, do it.
No, I wouldn't anyway, because I've got a lot of issues with like Proudhon's kind of sort of ideas, really. Though, you know.
Badger?
It depends how you define the word. I
Which
define
word?
the word. Ask the question again.
Can anyone truly claim to own anything?
It depends how you define the word own.
Belongs to.
Yes. Right, here we are.
I am
This
an
here
artist.
walking stick is mine. Where
Is
is
it?
it? Oh, it's over there. Yes.
Where did
made
you,
it.
and you purchased it from somebody?
No, I made it.
You made it. You
Yes.
got the atoms and you found the raw atoms and you put them together.
Yeah, I got the atoms from a tree and some leather offcuts and a golf ball and some epoxy resin. And
Right.
some,
So you
varnish.
who owned the tree?
Well, me now.
This doesn't
You own
sound
the tree
like
now?
I own a part of it.
The tree that who owned the tree that it came from?
I'd argue nature.
Nature. So you can take things from nature and claim that you own them.
We're all part of nature.
Yes.
Don't we? Don't we all? I mean, doesn't everyone on this panel though, like collectively, or this community, do we not collectively own a bit of space in Darth Dawkins' head?
Oh shit, he's gonna show up now.
Darth
Oh,
Dawkins,
please.
Darth Dawkins.
he has never shown up here. He doesn't know I exist. Please keep it that way. I'm quite happy
So-
to shout abuse at him on other people's channels.
Yes, I think you can.
Where do we
because
link?
it's an entirely subjective concept.
Very good. Jenny,
I own myself.
I see. That's the one thing I think you can. I think the answer is
I'll
yes
be
on that
right back.
basis. What?
I'll be right back.
Okay. MathPig.
But I disagree with the argument of a tree atom.
Yes, I do think
We-
you can
we-
truly own some things.
We consume just because we exist.
Yep.
So therefore, if that premise of yours is right, nobody owns anything ever because nothing is them outside of them.
Mm.
But once you have taken that into you, it becomes part of you. Is it then
That's
yours?
true.
Do you own it then? Or is it
I
still
would,
the base
I
atom?
would say so.
And if it is still the base
Even though it's
atom,
only temporary.
the tree doesn't own it either.
No,
big
but someone
game
owns
owns
the
it.
tree. Potentially. Ilya says,
No.
I own my reactions, behaviour, and my animals.
Oh no, I don't own my animals.
You don't own your animals.
If I have animals in my life, they're my partners.
If anyone here has ever had a cat, you will know that you don't not own a cat. A cat owns you.
Jen says, yes, I own my opinions. Seraphim says, say his name 3 times. Sammy
His
says,
name,
yes,
his
you
name,
can
his
own
name.
your...
Asshole 104, asshole 104, asshole 104.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also one of it.
You're doing well. You can... Sammy says, yes, you can own your experience. See you later, Sam. Dogs have owners, cats have staff. How can you say don't mention him and then say his name over and over? It works on you as well. We tried it on a stream the other day. MathPig, he turned up.
Yeah, I was sitting watching it.
Oh, that helps.
He's always fucking lurking, so.
MathPig, sorry. I got sidetracked with your answer.
Yes, as I said, you can own things. I would agree that I own my dog and my car outside. I saved up for that car is mine. That's
Is it?
pretty much the only thing I own. I wouldn't say I own the house. I wouldn't say I own the land around it, but I own the car. I own my dog. That's 2 things I definitely do.
You don't own your body?
No, Amanda has that.
She's gonna sell it.
No. Why?
Can I have his right leg?
It's not the right leg she's after.
Fuck off.
Why is the left leg that much better?
Not the left leg either, but moving on.
Amanda! Can you truly own anything?
I mean, I understand your reasoning behind like not owning objects, but you can own ideas. So
Can you?
yes, if you have an idea for some kind of science experiment or some kind of novel, and it's all your own, yes.
But once
Or
it's out
just a
there, it's out there.
concept.
You don't own it.
Well, just before I go, because I'm in a bit of pain for a couple of just before I go for a couple of minutes. You can own things in the way that Disney owns Star Wars, and I'm getting out of here before bad.
Sharing something you own doesn't diminish the fact that you own it. Oh, that felt good.
Purple says you only own an idea until you express it.
No.
I mean, you originated that idea, but I can't say you own it. You once you've expressed it, you've expressed it. Someone else can do anything they want with it.
Einstein owns E equals MC squared. But
Not
just
really, he
because
came up with
it's been shared, but just because it's still his.
Only because society decides that he should be associated with that.
Because it is his.
You never said E equals MC squared.
He worked out. No, the E equals MC squared is a different arrangement of the original equation that he worked out. E equals MC squared is just famous. That's not actually what, it's just a fucking equation. It's not
Jello, gelatin. Right. Let's not be picky on this. You understand my point.
Yes. But my point is that you're basically talking about history at this point. In the sense that and the problem is that history is warped. I think the ideas are gone. If that makes sense. We only have what we remember of the idea. Or ideas about the idea. I mean, the problem is I partially agree with you. And I don't actually have an opinion. I don't really have an opinion anyway on this one.
Well, I don't
Well, shit, you don't. You clearly do.
No, I don't. I was arguing for it. I was arguing for a side. I don't actually believe that. I really don't believe that.
Okay.
Well, get off your soapball then.
I argue against what people. When everyone all agrees, I argue against it because it's interesting. My opinion. Do you claim to truly own anything? I think in an ethereal, in an abstract sense, you can't, because you'll be dead. You'll be gone. But I think within the existence that we have, you can. You can have possession of things.
Name something you can never own.
Your casket.
The mind of a person.
Time.
I can own time. I buy a watch.
You don't own the time. You tell the time. I can own a ruler, but I don't own an inch.
Kaz says yes.
No, but if I give you an inch, you'll take a mile.
What were you thinking? What can't you own?
A neutrino.
You can't. I suppose I'd say you can't currently because we can't contain it. But you could own it. People say they own stars. They're there. I own that neutrino that just passed through me. It's gone. It's over there. You want to go see it? You got to chase it.
Well, let me expand a little. Neutrino and any other low energy particle.
I did actually buy 2 stars, Dave. So
Yes, I
technically,
know.
I do. Yes.
Your timing
Wasted
sucks
it.
on that.
Yeah, didn't it?
And what has gone wrong with my life that here I am at 8:39 in the morning talking about low energy particles.
That seems like perfect life
with
to
a
me.
bunch of people from England. Oh well, life is strange.
It is. Badger. Oh, we already did you. We did you first.
So I can answer again.
Are you going to give the same answer or a different one?
Same one.
Then no.
It's
it's all right.
phrased slightly differently.
Phrased slightly differently. You think you have a better argument?
No, I've got the same argument, phrased slightly differently.
It's okay. Sammy says, I own my fan fiction and a sticky sock. Seraphim says, sticky or stinky.
Yeah.
I
Sammy
would think
says-
it's an evolutionary process.
Sammy says, sticky, I cleaned before used.
Oh, God.
Jen says, you might want to wipe that, Jenny. Wipe what? What the hell is she talking about? Sammy says, I think I might. People who get credit for ideas are usually building on the ideas of others. Only the last person in line gets any credit. I do agree with that. I couldn't believe how much of Einstein's stuff in its own right was built on other people's on stuff that was already worked out. Because when we look at it historically, it's this big gap between what was before and what was written, what was accepted before and what was accepted after.
Rosen gets very, very little accreditation at all, and him and Einstein worked on a lot of stuff together. So much, but gets no recognition for it. It's all Einstein.
Yes. Is anyone else distracted by Dave's giant purple ball? You can see them in these trousers?
Sorry.
Well, those are balls? I thought they were something else.
Do you know what's really funny? The next question fits very well with what Jenny was saying. Right, we'll go to the next question.
I think we should.
Question 560. What
Ooh, this will
only
be a good one.
exists? What only exists because people are stupid?
Anti-vaxxers.
I was gonna say that.
But does that I don't know.
Selfie
Flat Earth.
Selfie
Yeah,
fucking stupid people.
Yeah, other stupid people.
Selfie sticks can be useful.
If you're that stupid that you can't hold your arm up in the air and take a picture of yourself,
You don't use them for selfies. They're useful for sticking your camera into like ponds and stuff and getting pictures of newts.
I'm not sticking my camera anywhere.
instructions on how to use self-service tills. They should not exist, but people are fucking stupid and need instructions.
No, I actually don't have a problem with that one.
Guardrails at the Grand Canyon.
Unexpected item in bagging area. Yes, it's my fucking bag!
Jen says bigotry. Santi says helmets.
No.
President Trump.
Critical
Yes.
questions.
What? Say that
Critical
again.
questions.
Critical questions. No, that's because people are bored. Not because they're stupid.
I feel stupider after some of these questions.
Dave. I said guardrails at the Grand Canyon.
You said Grand, okay.
Oh God, yes. Can you believe that?
Do you like the
People still fucking fall in.
do you,
So-
yes.
Okay.
Do you like the smashing bridges in China? The glass bridges that are screens rather than
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
yes, I
I
do.
They're
think
pretty
those are
cool.
riot.
Yeah.
I love the idea of playing mind fuck with people and scaring them to death.
just to watch them scramble. It's pure evil. Brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And
It's fucking
I like
great.
how some of them start crying.
Yeah.
It's raw. How raw can you get?
All right, Jeff.
I just yeah, I'm a bit better now. I just like to quote my one of my favourite memes of all time. It's been gone around for years now, and it says, "I'm not saying let's go kill all the stupid people. I'm just saying remove all the warning labels and let the problem sort itself out."
Yes.
The news.
The news.
I've
The
got
GOP.
I've got an answer for this. I think I've got the perfect example for perfect answer for this. The Darwin Awards.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's pretty good. Also, there's headlines. Let's go with headlines, not just the news in general, but headlines. The way they're written in newspapers, they have their own specific language that uses certain short but visceral sounding words in order to appeal to people's emotions about something, and it really fucking aggravates me. Like an example would be something like scientist slams government on COVID response. There's no slamming involved.
Yeah.
The scientist said, in this particular area, the government did not handle the crisis adequately.
No.
They didn't crash a car into Westminster.
Okay, I got a question. What's a freshness packet? Doctor
What?
says freshness packets marked "Do not eat."
Oh, there's those little silica gel things that absorb the moisture.
I once had a it was like a 24-ounce aerosol can fire extinguisher, and the warning on the back says "Do not expose to flame."
Turn blade off before removing on chainsaws.
Peanuts. Warning, may contain peanuts.
Yes.
Do not
climb
wire-
signs around electric towers.
Do not iron clothes while wearing them.
Caution.
Who's done
this
that?
sign-
I've seen it. I swear I've seen it.
The cat did that on Red Dwarf.
Did he?
Yes.
So everyone tried to
what
copy it.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Caution, this sign has sharp edges. Do not touch the edges of this sign. Also, the bridge is out ahead.
B says, "Do not use as hedge trimmer on a lawnmower." Jeff says, "Daily Mail readers."
Yeah.
Do you know what's really strange? Like, you know yourself, Dave, I fit tires, and it stays on the side of 16-inch tires and other different sizes of tires. Do not fit on a 16.5-inch rim. Do not fit on a 15.5-inch rim because I'm 16 inches. It's like, what the fuck? Like, how stupid can you be?
As someone who's been in the car business, I've seen that, so it happens.
People are idiots.
Oh yes,
People
they
are
are.
stupid.
Yes. Oh yes, they are. Yes.
May contain dairy on milk. May contain nuts on a granola bar. Have you met Momma Atheist? I'm doing her. What was that in reference to?
B asked me if I was having a good day. I says, yes, doing well. Have you seen Momma Atheist? And Santi's seen it as, have you met Momma Atheist? I'm doing her.
She looks very calm and pleased.
You can only see her from chest height down. What he's doing down lower.
Have you ever seen them things that you have the button and I can just set it off? Every now and again when Manda smiles when Dave asks her a question.
The Bluetooth type or the Wi-Fi type? I was thinking of starting a Patreon or a OnlyFans if I get one of those Wi-Fi vibrators.
Okay. Bye.
You okay there, Manda?
No.
Turn it down.
Save it until after the stream, all right?
I don't have the controls. What do you want me to do?
Oh.
Right.
Moving on.
Drink.
Okay.
Right. The second to last question. Question 561. If your hand was made out of ham, could you, as a vegan, ethically eat it?
Well, if you're a vegan, you're not going to eat your hand, are you?
Make
Or whatever.
crazy type of cannibal.
No, but the point is, could you ethically eat it?
Why would you eat it if
a-
it wasn't ham?
Your hand is made out of cooked ham.
This
You
question's
eat
a
it,
bit.
It grows back tomorrow.
This question does not make sense, Dave.
It does.
If your hand was made out of ham as a vegan, could you ethically eat it?
Yes.
if you're vegan, you probably are going to have an ethical issue with eating it. So the answer's no.
Why would you ethically have a problem with eating it? Given that it's you.
I don't know. I'm not a fucking vegan.
This is the point: is to question the efficacy of it, rather than the.
I wouldn't
not
eat
another animal.
Vegan or not, I wouldn't eat my fucking hand.
Am
Not
I
because of
starving?
ethical issues, because it's fucking
Yeah, but
stupid.
you can eat your hand without any problems. The point. Within the context of the question, your hand, like I said, you can eat your hand. It will grow back tomorrow.
I don't think it's an ethical question, really. I just see it as a question of fucking why would you do it? If you're a vegan, why would you eat meat?
I need to know.
It's the whole
Are you
question.
starving?
It's nonsensical to me.
Are you starving? Sure.
Okay. Then isn't the act of eating your hand a zero net sum game? That you eat the hand and it replaces itself with the hand that you ate.
You
Did
can eat
really
other
gain
food as
anything
well.
by eating it.
You can eat other food as well.
Well, then why would you eat your hand if you had other food?
Why wouldn't you? You grow back tomorrow.
Why-
It's
why would
perfectly
I?
good
Because there's other
source.
food available.
No, I'm not going to say that. No.
You've got a very dirty mind. MathPig.
I like ham.
Right, and if you you had to stop eating ham because you became vegan
Why would I eat my own hand?
because it tastes of ham.
But, like, you know, even if I'm not a vegan and you made my hand out of pizza, I still wouldn't eat my own fucking hand. Like,
With or without pineapple?
That's not the question, though. The question.
I think the only way you could actually phrase this question is cannibalism. Is self-cannibalism.
No, the point
fucking
is not. The
ethical?
point is not the cannibalism. The point is that if it was ham, normal ham from a pig,
reformed or proper ham.
you
I don't
would
like
not
that
be
reformed.
able
But
to
it
eat
wouldn't-
it.
It wouldn't be ham because ham technically has to come from a pig, and it's coming from you.
Yes, I
Have
agree.
you
But
noticed
it would
your
taste
partner's
exactly like ham. Is the point? It would.
Fine.
To all intents and purposes, it would be like ham.
Mama, have you noticed your partner's name?
Yeah. No.
And MathPig, does she ever look funny at your hands?
I'm saying nothing.
I can see a very good reason why Manda wouldn't eat the hand because he MathPig's hands because it means he'd have trouble pushing a certain button.
He's got a nose, doesn't he?
That long?
He's just gone.
I don't think his nose is pointy enough.
I think it is.
Not pointy, lengthy.
Oh, I've never.
You don't
What-
put
what-
pointy
what-
stuff up
what-
there.
You need a nose like the penguin.
You can get extensions.
Or-
You get nose extensions.
Yes.
Okay.
Human ham. I don't know whether the chat. Technically, do you think vegan? No, technically, no. No one seems to have got the point of this question.
They fall.
What's the
I
question?
do. But it's bullshit. The question.
Of course,
is
it's bullshit,
stupid
but
anyway.
it's trying to get
Yeah,
the
it is a dumb
efficacy.
question.
Wait a
Then
minute.
what's
it
the
is.
Wait a minute.
question?
Wait. In America, it is actually illegal to consume any part of your own body. So even if you eat a fingernail, it's technically illegal because it's a part of your own body.
Again,
no,
that
where-
really
I
doesn't
haven't
address
heard
the,
that.
address the
I
point.
know it doesn't answer your fucking question. It's just a random
you
Worried
fact.
about the efficacy of eating your own hand, and everybody
No.
else is
It's got-
going.
right,
"You're
forget it,
eating
forget
your
it.
own
Wait a minute.
hand."
Right. It doesn't
Where
matter
does that
that
put
it's
me
your
if I
own
tell
hand.
somebody to eat shit?
What's the
It doesn't-
question?
If your hand was made out of ham,
Yeah,
could you, as a vegan, ethically eat it?
I'm not a vegan.
You're still eating your hand. This is what some of us can't get past. It's ethical or not. You're
Right.
not going to eat your own fucking hand.
Fine.
I'm literally
Okay, let's
eating-
do it another way. Right,
I'm
let's do it
literally
another
eating chicken soup right now. I think I'm disqualified.
No, you're not, because you've got to pretend. Right, put it another way, okay? You go. We had the meatballs one. If you produced the ham, that's the point. That's the key thing here. Yeah, you get stuck on the hand and eating the hand. That's not the important point of the fucking question. I didn't think about that bit.
Well, it
None of us
certainly
are trying
is.
to ruin your day. We're not just trying to ruin your day.
You are trying to ruin my day.
Yeah, the meatballs thing just sort of didn't involve us, even if just on a temporary basis, removing an appendix.
Yes,
you know,
fine, right. So the point
You're
is,
allowed to
which
make-
we're not. No one.
the point
no
of the
one
question
fucking sane
is
is
whether
going
or
to
not
do.
you could ethically eat meat that you produce from your body if you were a vegan.
Well, I suppose if I was a vegan, I might have an issue with it, but I'm not a fucking vegan, so.
Yeah, that's a hypothetical question. You don't have a handmade hand.
It's a stupid question. Stupid
I
question.
think
Moving on.
it
If
depends.
we're talking about
Hey,
question.
answer, Dave. You want me to answer?
Yes, please.
I say yes, it is ethical because it's sourced by you. And
Thank you. I love
veganism is
you.
all about how it's sourced.
Yes.
I think
for
you're.
answering the question properly. Kick her. She answered it properly. Not
I
me.
think it depends. I think it depends whether your veganism is based on it being an animal product at all, or it being an animal product brought about by causing suffering to an animal.
Yes.
Which you would be, because you're removing your fucking hand.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's your hand.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
You're not
hurt
causing
you.
suffering to another animal
You're
unless you
making
count
the
all the bacteria
decision.
that live in it.
You are making the decision to cut off each your hand. You're not deciding to kill another living thing. So I say yes.
And so saying that guy who got his hand stuck in the thing when he fell down the thing in that survival situation, he was morally wrong to remove his hand.
No.
Is that a question or a statement?
It's bullshit, is what I'm saying.
No, it's not. I don't.
The problem
I think
is-
the morality question is silly, but good lord, cutting
I
your
mean,
fucking
the
arm off.
French. Is it French law? I can't
How
remember.
do
Has
you
the
do
thing
that?
that which is necessary is right. So cutting your own arm off because you needed to survive is right.
Yeah, but it's French, so I don't know.
Can you imagine having been that guy, successfully cutting your arm off, getting yourself free, being able to start walking out of the situation, and you get stuck somewhere else?
If you only had another arm, you could survive yourself. Amis considered that there's lots of.
I think
Sammy-
he'd be there trying to flag down traffic to give him a lift, and he'd just stick the arm out. Oh shit!
Oh,
Right,
my
I think
God.
we're going to go to the next question. I don't think I have.
I think you should. I think you should.
Right, the last question today, which is just going to be another shit show. But question 562: would you rather have arms for legs or legs for arms? What?
Dave, can I bring something else up before we go into that question? What if
Go on, then.
what if your hand was salmon? Would it be
You think-
different? Would it be different then?
I don't think vegans eat fish either, so I don't think it would make.
I don't want a
alright.
fishy hand. I'm cutting that off.
You're cutting that off.
Yeah, I don't want a fishy hand.
Right, I'm just gonna for this current question, Jay. I'm just gonna say legs for arms because I can both punch and kick someone simultaneously.
And
Legs
would it
for
look
arms.
like a regular hand or like a pig's foot?
No, it looked like a regular hand.
Okay.
Oh, I want arms for legs.
Yep. Arms for legs.
Arms for legs. So you couldn't
I
run
I'm
as
gonna
want
say
fast.
legs.
Right.
I want to
I'm
have
gonna,
grabby
say,
feet.
I'm gonna say legs for arms, and then I'm gonna be the different one.
Gonna windmill your way around.
Got more clout.
I want to have grabby feet.
I could
No,
be a
I would want.
be a human tetrapod.
I would want legs for arms because there would be more of it to eat.
Interesting.
Seraphim says arms for legs. Purple says arms for legs. And I can grip better with my feet. Seraphim, extra hands, woot. B says arms for legs. Santi says your hand turns into tofu. B says legs are very heavy. You would be so top heavy your life would suck. Imagine having. Sammy says arms for legs.
And that's a change for me. How?
Bethel says, why would anyone want feet on their hands? There's no way to grip. I think you'd learn. I've seen people with no arms that have learnt to grip fantastically with their feet.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
Sammy says, I would need more penises. Is this on your body or from other people? Jen says, arms for legs.
Sammy just wants to be a tentacle made out of penises, but the sounds of it like, or not, that fucking octopus.
If you had arms for legs, and therefore used them to walk around, would it still be called a glove, or would you call it a shoe?
I think they'd want to be harder, so it'd probably be a shoe.
I think I'd get like work gloves for my feet hands, and I'd get like nice comfy leather gloves for my hands.
I'd get those rubber covered ones, for
get those rubber covered work gloves for your feet hands.
Yeah, for wetness and stuff.
Your walking hands.
MathPig says Octo Sammy.
Of course, those rubber covered gloves would work against you if you peed yourself and it trickled down your leg and into your glove.
That is true.
But that's a problem with normal shoes.
You got the same problem with welly boots as well.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Just for experience. Jen says extra hands great for orgies. Santi says I'll take arms for legs. Sammy says an octo penis. Santi says leather gloves with a knuckle guard. Sammy says
you could punch with your foot arms as well.
Yes, you could have knuckle dusters.
Yeah.
And they could be more accurate. In theory.
Yeah, definitely arms for legs.
Okay, Amanda?
I mean, I might have been a better gymnast with legs for arms, because legs are more powerful, but now I'd have to go with arms for legs, I guess. Just because of the extra hands thing.
Oh, yeah.
You could just lean back in your chair and still type.
Oh. You knew where that one was going, Manda. Come on.
Yep.
I know.
You could lean back in your chair and still type.
Yes.
Would your hip operate like a shoulder or still like a hip?
I would be able to grip my ball.
That's what
So I could bounce on it without falling, without it, because I could grip it properly. So instead of nearly falling off constantly.
Oh.
Yeah, but if you're not holding the floor as well, it's going to roll.
I think I'd have more control of it rolling.
Roll of it trolling.
Yes. Doc says, if you have large legs for arms, can you still have sticky socks?
Well, yeah, because that's not where the sticky comes from.
Yeah, but how do you do that?
IQ says, I have relatives that have arms for legs. Quite distant, but they get by just fine. I like that answer. Right, I think we're done. I'm going to say thank you very much to Amanda. Thank you very much to Badger.
Hi.
Thank you very much to MathPig.
Like.
Thank you very much to Jeff.
Salute.
And thank you very much to Jenny.
I'm very happy to be here.
And thank you very much to absolutely everyone in the chat. You have been a blast and absolutely crazy. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.